Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So our group title project is Data about Class 6 Arif in Sekolah Kebangsaan Tapah. So for the problem statement, the current process of Sekolah Kebangsaan Tapah when storing data such as student data, fitness and co-curricular records and performance reports depends only on manual coding. So Sekolah Kebangsaan Tapah does not have a centralized database or system that can facilitate the work of tracking all student records and data. Many papers need to be completed in records or data are coded manually by teachers and clerks. Duplication and loss of data is inevitable, and employees also find it difficult and time-consuming to consolidate records and reports. Next is database objective. So the purpose of this system is to easily organize and to find specific data on certain students in Sekolah Kebangsaan Tapah. The teacher will no longer have the problems to assemble data as the database will arrange the data according to the user. Lastly is the final entity relationship diagram. So for the business entity relationship one is each student has one data fitness. Relationship 2, each fitness data can have many students. Relationship 3 is each student has one curricular record. And lastly, each curricular record has many students. Here is the ERD diagram for the students linked with the curricular and fitness data. So let me start with data definition language, which first we need to create table statement for all the table structures. First, before we create all the table, we need to create schema class. So let me show you the create schema class. So after it was successfully create the schema class, we need to create table for table students. First, before we run for create table students, we need to use class. After successfully use class, we can create the table student. After it was successfully create table student, we can see that table here already have table for table students. Next, we need to create table fitness. After it was successfully create table fitness, we can see that here is the table for fitness table. So lastly, we need to create for table curricular. After it successfully run for create table curricular, we can see that here is curricular table. After we then created all the tables under schema class, next we need to insert the tables. We need to insert all the values under the tables. So first, we need to insert into student values. But first, we need to use class. Next, we insert into values. So after it was successfully inserted into the student values, we can see that under the table, when we run, it will come up with this all the data under the student table. It contains student ID, student first name, and student IC. So next, after we successfully insert into all the student values, we need to insert all the values into fitness table. After it's successfully run, we can see that all the data under the fitness table, which contain of student number, fitness weight, fitness height, fitness BMI, and fitness BMI status. And lastly, for curricular tables, we need to insert into curricular values. So we can see that it was successfully inserted into all the curricular tables. So when we run the curricular tables, we can see all the data under curricular tables, which is student ID, student IC, curriculum activation, curriculum score, and curricular grade.
Simple SQL requires, for example 1, list student identification card, full name and identification number, who is starting with BJ, and sequence the order in descending order by full name. The command will be like this: select student F name, student ID, student IC from student table, where student ID like BJ, and order by student F name in descending. When we try to copy this and paste in MySQL and we run, we'll be like, and we can get this output. So the output is same like this. Example 4, list full name and identification card for all students with identification card which birth date after June, which is July. Select student IC and student F name from student table where student IC is greater or equal July. We assume that July. Order by student IC in ascending. So this is the output that the student birth after June, which is July. Okay, we try to copy and paste into my SQL. After that we run. Okay, this is the output from July into December. Example 7, list identification number, height and weight for all students with height greater than 145 cm and weight more than 50 kg, or weight less than 50 kg and BMI also lower than 15 kg over meter square. This list should be ordered by identification card. So the command will be like this: select student ID, fit height and fit weight and fit BMI from fitness table, where fit height is greater or equal than 145 and fit weight is greater than 50, or fit weight is less than 50, or fit BMI is less than or equal to 15.00. This result should order by student ID. We try to copy this and paste into my SQL. We try to run and this will be the output. Example 9, list all students that have names starting with N, order the result by student identification number. The command is select student ID, student F name from student table where student F name like N, student and order by student ID and student F name. We try to run and we can get this. The student F name is begin is with N, Nur Fatin and Nur Atikah.
Next, I will explain the joint database table. I will in this subtopic I will explain only a few. First example is combine all the table to become one. In this question, we must use this command about the inner join. You must put inner join this command. You can see all the inserting data will be in the table. Next is the question is the student who born on December, and we must include the data about the birthday, IC number for the student who born on December, full name, ID number, and co-curricular grade. we must put the command which is student IC between 09120 and 091231. When we run, only 2 students who born on December. Last example is which student name is finished and list the IC, BMI, BMS status, height, weight, curricular score and grade, and sequence the data by full name. This command same as the example 1, but the difference is we must include the command about the student full name, which is Vinesh. When we run, we only see the output about the Vinesh only.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today I'm going to present about scalar functions and arithmetic. So for first problem, for all students that have the student's number beginning with AJ, write an SQL query that involves adding all students' weight and height that is lower than 130 cm, and the table name is total. The result must be sorted by student's number. So for us to do this, we select student nums, feet height plus feet weight as total. From table fitness, where student num like AJ underscore percent. This percent to indicate as it can be anything after AJ, and feet height less than 130, order by student num in ascending order. So we select this, copy, we run, and this is the answer we get. Student num AJ002 and the total is 154. Moving to the next part is column functions and grouping. First problem is write an SQL query to fetch the count of student in the BMI status is normal. So we select count from all, from fitness, count all, from fitness where fit BMI status is equal to normal. So we select and this is the count we get, 16. We use using subqueries. The first problem is write an SQL query that is student's name of Farah, Aliza and Hanim. Also the student's ID and IC number. So we select student first name, student ID and student IC from table student, where student first name in Farah, Aliza and Hanim. Copy. And the answer we got is Farah, the ID is BJ003, the student IC is too long.